What's going on, everybody? We got newest Miami Hurricane Derek Williams, a transfer outfielder from Wichita State, an all-conference guy. Derek, we're going to go through your journey. It's been remarkable in terms of just kind of looking where you've been, kind of coming up out of high school, the JUCO route, and on to Wichita State. But let's just start with Miami in terms of what was it about the Hurricanes, the Miami program that led you to Miami? What was it about that program that made you want that to be your next stop?
Yeah, so the University of Miami baseball, I mean the program, it's been a winning program for a long time. And when you look at this, when you look at the field, look at the weight room, you see all the national championships that they have on the top, and you know that there's going to be a lot of good baseball down there. The weather is beautiful, and I talked to Coach JD Arteaga, and he's a great guy. I talked to the other coaches, and great guy. I was really comfortable with them, and I think that it was the best option for me to come in, get better, and I'm ready to go win. So I think Miami is ready to start winning games, and I'm ready to go play for regional and play against the best.
Yeah, and kind of staying with that, what was kind of the messaging from the coaching staff, and maybe in terms of that, the winning, obviously disappointing year last year, everybody knows that, but you touched on the history, everybody knows that as well. What was kind of the messaging from the staff that again kind of made you feel like this was going to be a good fit for you?
Yeah, so honestly, it was just like the vision that they had. Talked to Coach Spencer, and he had a good vision with me and stuff. I really like what I heard from him, and they're ready to win, and they're really excited about me, and they're ready for me to come in, win some games, and ready to put Miami back on the map where it belongs.
One thing that I talked to Coach Arteaga about after the season when he was talking about transfers and trying to identify, and it's just a crazy process. A lot of guys go in, they're trying to find not necessarily just the best players. Obviously, they want productive players like yourself, but trying to find the right fit. Was there something that you felt like that they thought was going to be a good fit for you in terms of the program? Was there something in addition to the numbers you put up, because they're obviously impressive, but was there something that you felt like that it felt like a good match from their side as well?
Yeah, so I mean, I know the ball flies in Florida, and I heard the wind blows out to left field, and that's my power spot right there. So that'll help me out, and I feel like it'd be a good ballpark for me to come in and swing my bat at. So I'm excited about that, and that's where I think it'd be a good fit as well. And they got some good players, like they had the freshman All-American and stuff. So I got some good bats around me as well. So I think it'd be a good fit to come in there and hit with those guys as well.
Yeah, coach talked about that too. They want to get some bats. Daniel Cuvée obviously had the big year, but they want to make sure that they're doing their job and protect him. A guy like yourself comes in, a productive player, guy that's been around. What do you know about Daniel? Have you gotten to know any of the players on the team? I know it's been kind of in and out, and you're kind of getting ready with your own thing. Have you gotten to know any of the players, or at least like learned about any of their team? Maybe it is with Daniel. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so I haven't talked to any of the players currently, but I do know a couple of the transfers, Rob Evans and Max Galvin. I talked to those guys a little bit. I'm excited to get to meet them. I kind of looked over like the Miami and how they did last year and stuff, and kind of seeing like what players did and stuff last year, and caught up with them, kind of see what their stats were. And so I know what players, how they did and stuff, and I'm excited to get ready to go. I think it's going to be a good team. I think we're going to bring in a lot of new transfer guys, and I think it's going to be a big step up for the program next year.
What has that been like, Derek? Since you kind of announced that you're going to go to Wichita State, other guys or going to Miami from Wichita State, other guys have jumped on board. You touched on Rob and Max, getting to know them a little bit. What has that been like, kind of watching as they kind of try to form their roster here, and what can you share about Max and Rob?
Yeah, so it's been good. So I kind of just been like, once I committed, I kind of was just like looking around, and I seen other guys that'd be like, oh, committed to the University of Miami, and then I seen that they committed Todd Hudson and then stuff. And then I seen Max Galvin. I'm like, oh, he's a good player. So I was excited about him. And then Rob texted me and he's like, yo, like I'm coming to Miami too. And then I seen his commitment. And I was like, I know Rob's good. He's a good lefty pitcher. So I'm excited about it. I think we got some good guys coming in, and I'm excited to see who else they bring in, and I'm ready to get going.
Yeah, how do you know those guys? Obviously Max didn't play last year, but I know you guys Oklahoma State there. How do you know Max and then Rob as well?
Yeah, so last spring I was at Florida Southwestern JUCO, and we played against Rob. Rob was on Chipola. He was a left-handed pitcher, so I played against him then. And then Max Galvin, he was on Miami-Dade, and we were in the same conference, and we played like a 7-game series versus him, and we were both hitting really good that time. So we were just talking to each other and just seeing how it went and play some good competition against each other.
What's kind of your process in terms of, since the season ended? I know you're trying to figure out the transfer stuff, but maybe workouts. What has summer been like for you? And then I know we touched on a little bit about your plans the rest of summer, but what has it been like since season ended? either with workouts and then what's next for you the rest of summer?
Yeah, so season ended and kind of took a step back, reflected about what how my season went, wanted to see on where I needed to get better at, where I was stronger at, where my weaknesses were at, and kind of just took an overall reflection about myself and where I wanted my next step to be, my direction and stuff. And so right now I've been kind of like working out a lot. I want to get a lot faster, so I want to be able to play like every position on the field. And I'm gonna go play in the Coastal Plains or the New England League in the second half. So I want to go play some games, but I want to take that first month to critique everything and kind of tune up and get ready to go about where I want to be and stuff. So then I'll go play in the second half after that.
Gotcha. Last year, the season for you at Wichita State, 2 years after playing at the junior college level, second team All AAC, hit 318, the 14 homers, the 44 RBIs, 18 hit by pitches. I certainly saw that number and that stood out to me. What do you make of your year as you kind of fit in there? You transfer in and then you put up some good numbers. What was the season like for you?
Yeah, I think it was a solid year for sure. I think it was a good year. It was a good learning lesson for me as well. So I learned a lot of things about myself and learned about the game and just learned about like the Division I level overall. Kind of seeing how my practice play needs to be, my routine and all that stuff. So I kind of learned a lot about myself, and I'm really for the senior to come up. It could be my last potential year of college baseball. So I'm excited. I'm going to take everything I know and my knowledge and put it all into this year and see what can happen.
Derek, and I know we touched on this. I shared that I went to Wichita State as well for a year, and actually, my love for college baseball really started during that season. I went to like all the games. My friends and I, that's where we went. It was a big deal because there's no football program, as you know, and they were had a really high level program when I was there. And I know the stadium, everything about kind of the atmosphere there for you. Derek, when you were there, the Division I level, and you played left field, some DH. I'm looking there. You touched on just a second ago about how you want to play more positions. Maybe the positions that you're looking to play. I know you played some first a little bit. Has Miami talked to you about that, or maybe kind of your goals for yourself as you go into summer ball and into fall, about where you'd like to be in terms of some position flexibility?
Yeah, so we talked position. They talked about me putting me out in left field, maybe trying me out at first base a little bit, but I want to be able to play all positions. So I'm gonna go play summer ball. I'm gonna take infield reps. I'm gonna take outfield reps. I'm gonna take reps at third, second, first, and kind of just see what I can do. I'm gonna work really hard at it, just so like I can play wherever. So if you can play wherever, it help you out for pro ball and just for like the team as well. So like if the team, let's say someone goes down at second base or third, I'm able to play there, and or like say they need another outfielder, they can throw me out there. I want to be able to be like the best teammate and best person for the team as possibly can, where I can play any position and not just be pitch and hold at left field or pitch and hold on the DH spot or something like that.
Derek, one of the games I want to ask you about this past season was against Virginia, an ACC opponent. You guys go extra innings there. You had that home run. It was your first one of the season. Any memory, Virginia obviously is one of those teams. Miami wants to get back to getting to the College World Series, deep postseason runs. They were one of 4 ACC teams to make the College World Series. I know it wasn't a full game series, but any thoughts on Virginia, maybe either the scouting or what you kind of saw from that game? And I know you're probably looking forward to the competition in the ACC, obviously.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited about the ACC competition. It's a really good conference, but yeah, when we played Virginia, they're a really good team, really well coached. I know a few of the guys on the team that I played summer ball with, like Henry Ford and Aiden Teal. So I knew those guys a little bit, and I knew they're both good players, so I knew what I was getting ourselves into when we went to play. It was our first Power Five game, so I was really excited. I was really pumped up for that game. That was also my first start to in my Division I career and for that year. So I was excited about it. And once we kind of got settled in and stuff, they were a really good team, but we came out swinging. We played really well, and it was a really good game. But I'm excited to get to play those guys 3 times this year, and I think we're going to do really good against them.
I think you hit the home run off Aiden. Is that right?
Yeah, sadly, I hit it off my summer ball teammate, but it's all love in the end. So it was a good battle, but he kind of left one over the middle, and I took advantage of it.
Got it. Before you got to Wichita State, playing at Florida Southwestern there and also Mineral area, you're hitting home runs, you're putting up numbers. What did you kind of learn about playing at that level? I've talked to other players over the years, just that grind that it takes, at the junior college level. Those 2 seasons for you, what can you say about them?
Yeah, so the JUCO level is a grind for sure. I mean, when you're sitting there, like especially when I was in back home Missouri, Florida JUCO, I mean, I was kind of blessed. We played on some pretty solid fields, but back when I was in Mineral area, the coaches, Coach JT and Coach Jones, really 2 great guys, brought me in, and they worked really hard with me and stuff. And sometimes it was like long practices, like 3 hour practices, 4 hour practices and stuff. And I was like, dang, like this is getting tiring and stuff. But I kind of fell in love with it. And like those guys kind of like, I'm gonna keep going down to my journey, but those guys were like the very start of my journey and kind of like made me fall in love with the game and stuff. And it was a and learned about what I need to do is just stay consistent and never get too big headed or never be like, oh, I don't have to do that. Like you always got to put the work in and always got to keep going up and moving forward and never take a step back.
Yeah, you said you grew up in Missouri there, played at Windsor, the 10 home runs, the single season record. You hit 25 your first year at Mineral there, and then 16, 8, the 14 at Wichita State that we touched on. The home run, Derek, obviously those numbers are standing out. What's been the key for you to hit home runs other than just the power? But I know players talk about, not necessarily always trying for it because sometimes you get into it, but maybe if you could touch on your approach, because the numbers have been there throughout your career.
Yeah, so honestly, just waiting, just being patient and waiting for that pitch because a lot of pitchers like their pitchers are really good nowadays, but they're going to eventually make one mistake, and when they make that mistake, you got to be ready to go. And I try to get as ready as I can, and when they make that mistake, I can take advantage of it as much as I can. And I kind of look for pitches that are in my zone and what I can handle pretty well. And when I get that pitch, I'm going to put my swing on, and hopefully I can barrel it up and send that thing off to left field.
Memories you'd like to share from Windsor, playing there, and I'd like to, if you could touch on playing quarterback, at the football level. Obviously, Miami fans love their football. Any memories you'd like to share from your days at Windsor?
Yeah, so Windsor High School. I mean, that's my hometown. So I had a lot of good memories on the football field. Especially, my best game was probably my homecoming senior season game. I had like 300 something or like 300 something yards. I had like 4 or 5 touchdowns. It was pretty good. I was just running the ball, slinging it all over the place. So that was probably my best memory game. And then for baseball, I had a lot of good memories. It was a fun team for sure because high school is a little bit different. Like when you're in college, you play with guys from all over the place. You don't really know their background. You don't really know their families and stuff. But when it's high school, it's your boys from back home. You grew up with them since you've been like 8, 5 years old. So it was a fun time for sure. I got a lot of memories in the back pocket, and a lot of the guys see it. So it's a fun time for sure.
Yeah, and I know you'll have plenty of support from there. Coming to Miami, a lot of Miami fans are excited to have you on campus. When will you, be at UM? What's kind of, I know you're touching on summer ball, trying to decide there, kind of your goal, and then also, Derek, your approach, fall ball, and kind of whenever you arrive at Miami with the workouts and kind of your goals before the season start, obviously next season.
Yeah, so hopefully I can go to fall ball. I'm excited to go to fall ball and get some games in my belt, get a lot of at bats. But I'm super excited for the fall. I'm super excited with the coach's vision and stuff they have me, and what they talked about, what I should develop and stuff, and what they want to work on me with. And it's my senior season, so I'm going to be all in. I'm going to put all my work in. I don't want to have any regrets of like, oh, I wish I could have put more work or nothing. Like I'm going to be working every single day. I got an apartment, hopefully right next to the field, so I'm going to be working every single day. And I want to be a part of a team that, well, like, why not us? Like, why can't we go to Omaha? Like, why can't we do what we want to do? And Miami didn't have the best of year last year, and I think this year's going to be a big year for us. Like, we got a lot of good guys coming in, and this year should be our year. Like, I'm excited for it, and like, why not us? Like, why can't we be the team that goes all the way? Like, I think this team could be the team that can start winning some games and put Miami back on the map and be like a big stepping stone. And to come in and have a good fall, get the guys together, build up relationships, build up the team, get stronger, just get better overall. Not just myself, but with the whole team, and we can get ready for the spring coming up.
Yeah, that's great, Derek. Appreciate you sharing your story. Your time is valuable. I know you got other things to get going and get doing, but definitely appreciate it, man. And we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me on. Go you.